All right, well, good morning. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me here this morning for There's Income Inside of Your IP. So this morning we got some information that we're going to go over and cover, and I have prepared some slides in order for us to stay on track so that we can uh, really extract what it is that you are doing and you have the opportunity to do in this season of your life. So we've introduced ourselves, and so there's realtors in the room. We got coaches and authors in the room. We got those that work inside of real estate. We've got educators in the room. So each and every one of us, all of us included, we all have some level of IP. When I say IP, it's intellectual property. If you studied anything that's going on right now, a lot of our major companies are starting to downsize and they are starting to lay off people right now. Amazon just laid off 10,000 employees. There's other companies that have just joined and are laying people off. And in a time when that is happening, no greater time to be in a position to take what it is that's inside of you and to be able to move that to the next level. So when I think about IP, I think from a standpoint of it can be your message, it can be a product, it can be a service that you provide to people. So my realtors, this room's important to you because you communicate with people and that communication turns into clients. And then for those of you that are in here that you have maybe a course, you got a book inside you, or even in real estate, you want to write a book, you want people to read it, you want to be able to monetize that message. This is that type of room. So today I'm going to give you some examples of some of the people that I coach. Of course, I run the company Assist You to Win, the connecting place for winners. And I have the awesome privilege of coaching different individuals in different backgrounds, different fields, in order for them to have, the main word here is predictable profitability. I help people gain predictable profitability, and we do it in multiple ways. Getting clarity, strategy, and accountability is what we do on a day-to-day basis. All right, so 5 things that I have for us this morning as let's move. All right, statements that are going to shape today. Number 1, if you're taking notes, you can take notes. You also have access to some of the information, and you're listening for your aha this morning. But number 1, the first thing I want to tell you this morning is that you are the CEO of your future. Yeah, I don't know everything about your past. I don't know everything about where you've been and what you've done and maybe the history of your life, what school you went to, if you have brothers and sisters. But what I can tell you this morning is that you are the CEO of your future. For all of us in the room, our future has not yet been shaped, but we are shaping it on a day-to-day basis. So the first thing I want you to tell yourself this morning is that you get to design the life you love so that you don't have to live a life of dread. I don't want you to think that what you are doing or what you have done is all that's within you to do. Number 2, you get to decide how big is going to be for your life. If you're following me on social media, if you've been to our Experience Bigger, you know that the theme for what we're doing this year is twofold. 1, we're challenging people to go big. And 2, we're challenging people to grow bigger. So your big is determined by you, not me. You get to determine how big that is. You get to determine how many homes you sell. You get to determine what your course looks like, how long your course is, who you want in your course. That is determined by you. Third statement that's going to shape today is what you've done for others, you now must do for yourself. Some of you I do know, and you've done some powerful things for other people. You've helped them grow. You've helped them do things. And now the thing is, when you are the CEO of your future, you got to now turn those things around and begin to do those things for yourself. I think back to when I started Assist You to Win. Assist You to Win started with a group of people coming to my home on Sundays. And during that time, we called it winner circles. And the winner circle was where each person came in and they said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to create. And I've had 10 couples come there. 7 businesses are still going today because they decided that they were worth the investment. Number 4, I love this. Our belief system is our breakthrough or it's our barrier. How you believe. Yeah, you've heard the term. The term right now is very popular, and that term is mindset. And so those of you that have heard that, you got to have a winning mindset. You got to have that mindset that causes you to think like a winner, that tells yourself that you can win on any and every level. But also with that, you need to realize that sometimes the mindset's a barrier. It keeps us imprisoned. It keeps us from going to the next level. So your belief system, not mine, because I can believe for you or think for you, but you got to adopt it because I want you to recognize that, man, there's greatness in you. Now we got to have a system to get it out. So your belief system is going to be your breakthrough or your barrier. How much is your course going to be? Are you supposed to get 3% commission? Are you supposed to negotiate that down? How many homes can you sell? How many people will buy it? Your belief system is going to determine that, your breakthrough or your barrier. And then number 5, I love this right here, is you have enough to get started on your success journey. You know, when I get into conversations with individuals, sometimes people start thinking they need this, that, or the other in order for them to get started. But here's the thing I want you to know. You have enough to get started on your success journey. Now, listen to this statement. I heard this from a powerful preacher in Houston. He used to say this. His name's Dr. Ivy Hilliard. He says, God will give you more along the way than he does at the start. Here's what I want to tell you on behalf of that statement. If I don't use what I have, I won't position myself to get the more. So we have to exercise and put action to the things that are inside of our hearts to do. And if we don't, we're going to miss out on that next level. All right. All right. So what do you need most right now? As we go through today, I want you to think, what do I need most right now? Do I need more clarity on what it is I want to launch? I need more clarity around the thing that I'm called to. Do I need clarity around the goal? What should the goal be? Should it just be impact? Should I do it from a nonprofit? Should I do it for profit? Should I charge more? Do I need clarity around that? Or do I need strategy? Maybe I need strategy. Maybe I have a great course. I have a great talk. I have a great speech that I can give, but I don't have the strategy that allows me to do more of it. So what do I need? Or do I need accountability? You're following me. You're seeing that it's the accountability that's keeping me in the gym. Right now, my legs are extremely sore because we did leg day yesterday. But if I didn't have accountability, I promise you this, I would not have done leg day to the level that we did leg day. But it was the accountability that did not let me do it the way that was comfortable, do it the way that was easy, do it the way that I didn't have to change. My accountability causes me to live in a land of uncomfortability. Growth begins when I get out of comfort. Maybe you want to write that down. Growth begins when you get outside of comfort. If you stay comfortable, you may not be growing. And if you don't grow, how are you really going big? So as we talk today, what do you need most? Now, I can tell you for me, yesterday I was on the phone with my coach and we worked through an area of the next level for my business. I needed clarity. I was ready to go, but you don't want to go if you don't have the clear path that you're going on. So I needed clarity, and I got that. When you know what you need, make sure you get what you've come for. So I want to make sure you get exactly that this morning while you're here in the room, all right? All right, so first thing I want to do is I want to give you a little case study. For those of you, if you registered for this, you're going to get this in your email. So this is a case study of a guy named Derrick Butts. Oh, that's me. All right, this is a case study of me. Matter of fact, the gentleman's on, I think he just joined us, that really, really encouraged me to write. His name is Dr. John Mack. He encouraged me to write. My mom actually had written a book before I wrote a book, and she wrote a book, and it's a powerful book about how to have a godly home. And I saw these people writing these books, and I've always been studying personal development and self-help, and from an early age I was just a John Maxwell fan. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want anything on leadership, John Maxwell's written so many things around leadership. And I didn't want to write a book like that initially. First off, I didn't think I had that kind of book in me. My strength is not necessarily writing. My strength is actually the talking. Talking's my strength. And there's some of you in the room here that talking is your strength. Matter of fact, let me tell you this. It's twofold. I'm going to give you two statements right now. One is there's money in your mouth. My realtors, I want to tell you, there's money in your mouth. My speakers in the room, there's money in your mouth. Course developers, there's money in your mouth. A person told me that years ago. The second thing is you have to value your voice. I recognized early on that it wasn't my writing, it was my speaking that was my strength. But I also knew that writing, by listening to Dr. John, allowed people to have a sense of credibility about you because you wrote something. Today, writing has really become I call it's my business card on steroids. So instead of me handing somebody a business card like everybody else, I can hand them my book. But I had a strategy that was just running around in my head that if I used the book to get people to my course, I could actually make more money and make more impact. So I want to preface this today that you, if you're in business, are in business to make both impact as well as income. Now, write that down. Write that down. Because some of you got to recondition yourself. You are okay with making impact. But sometimes when you think about your IP, what is IP? Intellectual property, you don't see the income side of it. If you don't see the income side of it, then it's going to be hard to really stay in business. It's going to be hard for you to have longevity of business. And matter of fact, if I don't make enough money, I won't be able to make the impact because you'll be out of business. So it's okay for you to have impact and income. Now, I am not the coach that talks to you about making the money and not making the impact. You have to be a person of substance, have something to say, have transformation in your voice. Your course should do something for somebody. Your service should provide, and you should do it at a level of excellence, but it's okay to make income. Matter of fact, if you are still with me, I want you to write that in the chat. Type it in the chat. Listen to what I want you to type. Type, it's okay to make income. Go ahead and type that in the chat. See, these are things that how you have to recondition sometimes your mind. This is having a mind shift. Yeah, you're going to make impact, and I want you to. Yeah, thank you for putting that in. But I want you to also tell yourself it's okay to make income. So here's in my book to course case study. I made over $30,000 off of a course that I called the DGCP Method for Winners. Dream, growth, change, push. That was the course. Dream, growth, change, push. So I wrote a chapter that was a lead in, but it ultimately became a lead magnet. If you don't know what that term means, we're going to talk about it. It was a lead magnet that caused people to get led to me. That's what a lead magnet is. It is something that I do to get people to be led to me. So I was giving away this book. I called it a book work. And I gave away the book work because it caused people to get led to me. And what did they get led into? They got led into my course because my money was in my mouth. And I actually could provide greater transformation in a course than I would ever have provided in just a book. And the reason why I say that is because some people buy a book because of the cover. They never get to the content. So yes, the cover caused them to buy it, or they bought the book because they wanted to support me. You know, again, I told you my parents are on the call. My parents are here. There's things that I have done that they supported, and they are thinking, that's not what he should be doing. But they supported because that's who they are. They are my support system. They are there for me. They love me unconditionally. But the book, you don't want just people buying it for support. You want to get people to transformation. So my lead magnet led them there. So here's some of the challenges that I saw in it. Number one, the time to finish a long book. I didn't want to wait that long. I didn't want to write and then have to go through the editing process, then look for a publisher. And I know you can get self-published. I didn't want to have to do that. And then think to myself that I got to trust that these people are going to read this book in order to get transformation. I didn't want to do that. Second thing is I noticed that the profit margins. I don't care what book you write. If you write a book and you charge $20 for the book and there's $3 of expenses, you're going to make $17 per book. Well, how many are you going to sell? Now, I'm going to tell you up front, you're probably the anomaly, and you probably are going to do it, and you probably are going to be a New York Times bestseller. But I didn't think I would be. I didn't feel like I had that much impact. I didn't think I had that much influence. And let me just be honest, I definitely didn't have that much money to market on that grand of scale. I wanted to write the book and just thought that if I write it, they'll read it. So I had a group of people purchase it, but I did not become a New York Times bestseller. And I wanted to make impact and income because I want that to be the business for my life. The third thing was I was busy working a full-time job. I didn't have all day, all night to just talk about my book. So these were the challenges that I had. Here's what I found out. I took a $700 investment and ended up making $30,000. And today, even way more money than that, but $30,000 on a course because I had a lead magnet. My writing, number two, led to my strength of speaking. And number three, it was immediate impact and it increased my income. Somebody in here is saying, oh man, that's why I'm here, because I know I can do that. I know I can do that. And I want to do that. And I want to do that on a greater scale. I get it. All right. So you're going to get that case study inside of there. Okay. All right. IP, intellectual property. Let's get in. So the first thing is you got to decide what is your IP. Okay. Now, when you make this decision, here's what I'm going to tell you. And I tell this to a lot of individuals that I coach, that inside of your IP, there's a lot of things you can do well. There's a lot of things you can do well. There's just a lot. There's tons. And some of the toughest people to coach are the individuals that are very gifted and they have a lot of things, right? Some of you have heard me say this to you personally. I see your eyeballs. I'm not going to call you out, but I saw those eyebrows raised. Yeah, Dr. John Mack, my Chrysalon snails, right? And you have a lot of things that you can do. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you right now. You have to find your one thing. Please put that in the chat. Find my one thing. Find my one thing. Put that in the chat. Yeah, yep, put that in the chat. Find my one thing. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that you only are going to be able to teach one thing, but it does mean for the sake of anything, you have to complete before you repeat. Until I can complete a thing, I cannot repeat a thing. So I had to find what was going to be my one thing. Pamela, my one thing was my DGCP course, Dream, Growth, Change, Push. That was my one thing. I wanted to help people come up with a goal and teach them the process of how to come to goal completion. I saw people setting goals, but I didn't see a lot of people completing goals. So that was my one thing. How do you come up with your one thing? Dream, growth, change, push. So find my one thing. That's the first thing. Intellectual property. I'm going to show you how to make income out of your intellectual property. The second thing that you have to do once you find your one thing, my dad gave me this one years ago, and that is focus all of your efforts around your one thing. Oh, this is where it gets difficult. Because I am a creative and I love to come up with ideas. And I had to teach myself how to have creative restraints around my creativity. I'd have control creativity is what I call it, control creativity. And being focused, and I had to focus all of my efforts around my one thing. The key word being all. I didn't listen initially to this, and so I struggled with profitability because I did not focus my efforts, okay? I struggled with profitability because I did not focus my efforts. I went to a conference with Lisa Nichols, who's a world-renowned speaker, and when I came back from the conference, my wife said something to me. She said, Derrick, do you realize every time you get around these people that you talk about being like these great people, they always see something in you? I said, yeah. She said, well, what do you think it's going to take? I said, you know what? That's a great question. And you know what? She gave me what it took. She said, Derrick, you used this acronym on focus that you said your dad gave you. But you sometimes have too many offers, so people don't know what to choose. And I said, wow. She said, when I'm looking on social media, it's the repetitive offers that cause me to make a decision. It's not just the one and dones. I saw it today. I saw it again. I saw it again. And it's through repetition that there was an impression, and the impression impacted my decision. I gave just somebody a formula right now, right there. I just gave you the formula right there. That if you do not say it to the place that you're sick of it, you haven't said it enough. Because we sometimes think they heard it too much, but they're just getting used to it. Matter of fact, I had an over evaluation of self. Biggest problem, big problem. I thought my stuff was so hot that when they saw it, they would just do it. And so because I thought that way, I thought I could just pop out these offers. And I'm telling you, I saw myself struggle until I eliminated the indecision of individuals. What do I mean? Those of us that are in sales, I got some people on here like, I know that you know sales. When you're thinking about sales, if there's too many options, people have indecision and they don't make a choice. There's too many options, okay? So sometimes when people see you, they see too many options. Are you this? Are you that? Are you this over here? Are you going to do this? Are you this over here? And are you this? And they don't know what to choose. And it's not because you're not gifted. It's because you're not focused. Listen to this statement. Why would I choose good when great is available? You're not in competition against good. You're in competition against your great. I had to make a choice. What do I want to be great in? Not what do I want to be good in? And when you pick your one thing, you're telling the universe, you're telling the world what? This right here, I'm going to be great in. And you can come to me as an expert in this right here because nobody around me is going to outdo me in this right here. I see you, Dr. John. I see you. I can read the chat while I'm talking. I see you. So you got to focus your efforts around it. Okay. Let me give you 3 things that I want to ask you, are you focused in? And I know, 1, your profile. If I went to social media and I looked at your profile, would your profile speak to your one thing? If I had to ask you to send me your resume because you do your business offline, does your resume speak to the strengths around your one thing? If I had to listen to you tell me 5 quotes that you're going to give me, is your 5 quotes going to be around your one thing? See, some of you are starting to see where I'm going with this. So your profile. Second thing, the things that you're posting. If I had to scroll through your social media, am I going to get bumped into your one thing? Or am I going to see a variety of things, a lot of things, everything but the one thing, right? And then if there's not, watch, alignment inside of your assignment, you're not showing somebody you're the expert. You don't have to see the mouse, you just got to see the droppings. People should just be able to see. Remember, lead magnet. It helps you to what? Get led to the thing that you want to magnetize the person around. That's a lead magnet. So your profile, your posting. How about the books you just purchased? If I looked at the last books that you just read, are the books speaking to your one thing? About you. See, mastery comes through repetition. So are you really mastering it? Are you, my communicators, do you follow other speakers? Do you listen to other speakers? Have you subscribed to any of the speakers' pages and inside their blogs? Because not that you need to do what they're doing, but please know that there is competition in this world. And if you don't know what you're up against, you don't know where you stand. You don't know what your people inside of your downline are being led around. Who else teaches what you teach? Why do people go to that person? How long have they been teaching it? See, the people we deem today as experts are only experts because they picked their one thing and they stayed in their one thing. We know T.D. Jakes. We really know him because of Women That Are Loose. Women That Are Loose busted him out, and it caused him to be able to do all of these other things. When you think about Dr. Tony Evans, he's always been known as the great teacher, the great illustrator. He's written books on illustrations. Each person, they have a theme. I was just with Les Brown last Friday, and we know him because of one speech. I'm hungry. No matter where you look, he gets back to, I'm hungry. People have that reoccurring theme that's around their life. The question is, what do people know you for? My workout committee, my workout team, they'll record videos. You know what they say? Assist you to win, the connecting place for winners. Why can they say that? Because I have built a brand around my one thing. And I've repeated it. So profile, you're posting. Oh, your products. So your product is going to come, it's going to be birthed from that. Most people, most women, when they give birth to a child, the child that they give birth to has some resemblance of the mommy and the daddy. That's most of them. I don't know about you, but if you look at me and then you look over into the top, I don't know where he is in here, but if you see my dad and you see me, there's some resemblance there. What I'm telling you is your product that you birth should have resemblance of your profile. It should have resemblance of your posting. It has resemblance of your reading. It should have resemblance of your studying. It should have that. Okay. All right, come on. Some of you are saying, okay, I'm seeing this. Okay, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this. Okay, so IP, intellectual property, your greatest opportunity is first and foremost to understand that every expert started off as a rookie. Every expert started off as a rookie. So it's okay to have your start day. I'm going to give you a next term, and then I'm going to speed through a couple of things, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. MIIA. Anybody that follows us, you've got to understand this term. It's not going to work until you understand this term. And that term is massive, immediate, imperfect action. You have to be willing to take massive, immediate, imperfect action. You see that block there? And then you see the next one, it's adjust on the fly. John Maxwell said this way. He said, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken. This room right here is a room right before we just walked out, was at Experience Bigger in Frisco, Texas. I'm standing here and we're talking to the individuals that were breakout speakers. And I had this room right here, when I think about it, it's a room that represents hundreds of thousands of dollars because of the IP that's in the room. Okay. I don't have really a lot of time to go through this, but this is what I call my client journey map. And some of you are going to join me as I help walk you through to put this together for you. But I have a client journey map where it takes somebody from I like you to I trust you to I love my results that I get because of you. And you need a client journey map. Not only do I have a client journey map, I also have when I teach what I teach. Because not only is there clarity, word number 2 is there's strategy. See, there's strategy to profitability. You just don't do anything. Realtor, they ought to have strategy. There's certain things I'm posting at different times. There's certain things I'm reiterating at different times. See, I'm going to always keep a client at my front door. Why? Because there's strategy to what I do. The ASK system. I introduced this system. It's called ASK. It's a signature close that I worked on, I've done over the last 20 plus years. You know, my backstory is I've done a lot in sales. I'm going to help you close your deal, secure your client, increase your asking price in three simple steps. It's called the ASK closing system, right? Let me tell you 3 success stories today. Matter of fact, one of the gentlemen, he's on the call. So the first lady that you see over here, it's to my left. I'm not sure. It's the lady over here. Her name's Tina Jackson. Tina Jackson met me after I finished speaking at a conference in June. When I met Tina, she's a realtor in Mississippi. And she walked up to me as soon as I got off the stage and said, "You are going to be my coach for a year." I said, "I am." She said, "Yes." She said, "You said there's 5 people in the room. I don't know who the 5 are. I just know I'm one of the 5, and you're my coach." When I met Tina, she had done 8 contracts from June to July. So not having a bad year at all. But she knew that there was more in her. She wanted to go big. She wanted to grow. From July to December, Tina did 16 additional contracts. So we doubled her business doubled her production. She did 16 additional, did 24 contracts for the year, did 16 additional, and she worked a little bit less than she was working before. I talked to Tina yesterday. I talked to her every Thursday, but she needed something, so she called me yesterday. And she always starts. We start the same way every single call. And she told me what she had going on. She has 10 people that she just attracted, 9 people with pre-approvals, 4 listings that she has going on right now, and 2 that she was going on an appointment that day. And she wanted me to help her as she gets ready to hire 2 positions inside her business. And all this has happened in less than a year. Second lady is named Denise Donahue. She's the mortgage nerd. Denise, I met at a wedding. It's actually my videographer was getting married. I met Denise at that wedding. And Denise was getting ready to launch her first course, her IP. She's a mortgage officer. She goes by the name the Mortgage Nerd. She was getting ready to launch her first course within like 2 weeks. I was talking to her twin sister, and man, we just hit it off. On Tuesday of that next week, she asked me to come to her office. I came to her office. We talked about what she was doing. On Wednesday, she hired me. On the following Monday, we restructured what she did. She launched her first course. Listen to me. She launched her first course. Tina grew her business in double. This lady launched her first course, and she made over 6 figures in her first course. Never done it before. Never had a course, but made over 6 figures in her first course. Launched it, and boom, she's going. Matter of fact, she's done over $30,000 this year inside of her course. Kenny Randall, he's actually on the call. He is one of our one-on-one clients as well. And Kenny, like he said in his introduction, is in a transition period, and he's a champion. He's not going to say it all the time, but he does say it, so I can say it. So, he played in NFL, and Kenny has had a successful sales career, and he's transitioning right now. And in the midst of his transition, he launched, and he did a private VIP day and just crushed it. And in the midst of crushing it, he signed up his first client that same day on his first private launch that he just handpicked some people, and he signed up somebody that same day. I tell you 3 different stories because I wanted you to hear Tina that heard me from a stage, but knew this is my coach. Denise, that in a conversation, an opportunity was created, and she was there. And Kenny Randall, from a referral after writing a book with Dr. John Mack, comes to me. And they're all on different stages, but they're all successful. You know what really makes all 3 successful, in my opinion? Not that one did $100,000 in a course, and one had 16 transactions, and one has signed up somebody in a course. All of them are successful because they made a decision that they were worth the investment. They were worth investing in themselves in order for them to say that they were going to grow. Their IP all turned into income. One a realtor, one a course, or another course, one speaking. What's yours? This is the room right here where Les Brown just spoke, and I followed up and opened up in lunch. I would never be speaking behind a Les Brown if I did not say yes. If you look at the TV back there, you probably can see it. It's time to say yes. So I'm going to offer today something. And before I get into it, the offer, before I get there, let me stop and ask, is there any questions today in the room? And it could be about your IP. Could this work for a course? But is there any questions that you have before I present to you an offer? And I'm gonna present you an offer today. And for some of you in the room, it's your time to say yes. And it's be honest with you, I'm only presenting this offer because my coach yesterday told me to present this offer. That's the only reason I'm presenting the offer. I was teaching the class before then. The offer I was going to present was going to be a lot larger. And I'm doing it this way because I'm being in alignment to what my coach asked me to do. And I'm going to do it. But before I get into the offer, I want to know, is there any questions that you have on anything that I said in the room? I'll take a few minutes questions and I'm going to present the offer and then we'll be done today. Okay.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
If you're posting and your profile and your entire presence has been improper up to this point, what are the steps that you can take to improve it and to get past it?
It's a great question. Great question. So, twofold. What you do today going forward will be at the top and it will start to move down. Okay. So you can speed it up by posting more so that you throw certain things down out of your page. That's number one. Number two, there's a power button called delete. There's a power button called delete. You start going back through and deleting. And you just go delete. And you delete the stuff. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
So thank you, Dr. Mack. That's a great question. But how do you transition from personal to the business piece? So do you start a new page that's just dedicated to the business? I know you said go and delete, but then how do you, because you want to have family or whatever, but it just doesn't mix. So do you have something that's dedicated to the business, or do you kind of keep that personal because people want to get to know you as well?
Okay, great. I love it. So social media takes on different forms, especially on social media. And so where social media is today, people must know you, like you, and trust you to do business, which says, watch this, instead of thinking of content being a compartment, listen to what I'm going to say, you are the content. It is okay. So it is okay to mix the worlds. I can prepare the soup in a compartment first. I got my onions, I chopped all them up. I did something over here and I did something over here. But when I put them together, it just flows. So you have to find what is the secret sauce or what's the percentage that you need to be posting. So today, more of your people are going to be in your personal pages. And you can open up and do a business page, but you will not have the impact because you don't have the influence on the business page today. So once you know what your one thing, your content is your commercial. So it can get married, it can get together, it can go together. Now, every post does not have to be about the business because people want to see, oh, my daughter had a sweet 16 and look at her pictures. They like that because they're getting to know you. The area, though, is I am not going to post business things that are contrary to my product and what it is that I'm doing. So that is the main thing that I'm speaking about. Yes, you can continue to do it. And while you're doing that, you can be building up your business page. But if you go totally separate, you're cold over there and you have no opportunity because your opportunity is in your world. Okay, anybody else? Any question? We'll take one more question, then I'm going to present my offer, and then I'll answer any other questions so I can release the room, okay?
Derrick, but I do have a statement that I would like to say, that this has been very productive, very fruitful, because you said something that it's okay to make income all my life, I've made nothing but impact on everybody's life, seem like.
Yeah.
But now I think that it's time to be okay to make impact, yes, but to make income for Leon and I, for our family. And so I think the very thing that you sow is the very thing you're going to get back, but you got to still sow the things that you want to receive.
That's good. No, that's good. I love it. I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree more. 100%. And what qualifies you to make income with it is because you made impact. And that's how you know really where your one thing becomes, because it's something that you've made impact in. Okay. So I'm gonna go through this offers real quick, not gonna take me long, and then I'm gonna answer any questions. You may have some questions after I go through the offer. So here's the offer that I'm doing right now. Again, if this is for you, great. If it's not, great. It's okay. So I'm gonna do a Sunday sales mastermind. It's gonna be on Sunday, it's gonna be on Sunday evenings. All right. So it's going to be on Sunday evenings. It's a $10,000 challenge. And the reason why I'm using $10,000 is because I believe that anybody that has an IP, I can help you get to 5 figures with your IP. I just believe it doesn't matter what it is. I have a strong belief inside of here. What's going to happen is in the month of February, we're going to have 3 group calls. It's a group setting. And so there will be 60-minute calls. There will be a replay room for mastery. And I say that because mastery, repetition is the foundation of mastery. You're going to have to hear this over and over. Just as you heard my mother say, it's okay to make income and impact. That has to register. So you have to say that. You have to confess that. So the sessions are going to be on, now that I know that I got to post around, I got to do these things. How do I create content? How do I set up what I'm going to do to sell my product? How do I attract my next yes? And what are the follow-up systems? I'm going to, inside of these 3 sessions, I'm going to share with you exactly the apps that I use. I'm going to share with you exactly how I did what you are looking at right now. You're going to know exactly how to do it, right? Because you're going to be able to help. I'm going to help you monetize your message, product, or service. Okay. Q&A will be available on every single call. Now, because of my coach, Jesus, I'm giving you a bonus. You're going to receive also a complimentary ticket to Experience Bigger Sales and Speaker Summit that we're doing on April 12th. And it's all, and the pricing for this is only $297. That $297 is the price of the ticket alone for Experience Bigger. But we're doing this, and it's 3 calls, replay room that you can listen to forever. And the end of this, when you come out of this, you will come out of this with a product that you will be able to go and do. Derrick, well, I don't have a book. I'm telling you right now, you will come out of this with a product that you're able to go and do. So that is our offer for today, right? So I'm very, very excited about it. Any questions you have about what's going to happen inside of this room? Okay, no questions. All right. Where do we sign up? That is a great question. And yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm answering that. Go ahead, Johnny. And
yeah. Is it going to be Zoom only or virtual only, or is it a live experience as well?
No, yeah, it's going to be Zoom. This group will be Zoom. Okay, it will be Zoom for that during this one. Okay, so I just put the link in where you can go and sign up. So make sure you just copy that link, put it somewhere. And again, that offer is for you. It starts on February 5th. We will meet on February 5th. We'll meet on February 19th, and we'll meet on February 26th. Okay, so February 5th, February 19th and February 26th. We will not meet on the Super Bowl. You will have enough work to be doing so that you will not want to meet with me on that day. Okay, so we will have that. So any questions? You heard the offer, you know there, but what other questions you have? And I got 5 minutes, and whatever questions you ask, matter of fact, I'm going to stop the recording and answer any questions you have. And again, it can be on anything.